have Umahi inspects Lekki Road project, gives ultimatum. Okay. On the Punch newspaper, the leading headline is 2-year refining milestone. Fuel import spending crashes 54% to $6.7 billion. Okay. So the money spent on fuel import has crashed to 54%. Now it is $6.7 billion that is being spent for that purpose. Discos billed customers 255 billion naira, collected 210 billion naira in October. That's according to the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NEC. We also have impeachment storm. Fubara says no notice as 2 lawmakers pull out. So the house has begun to fall as it is. Okay, so 2 lawmakers have pulled out, and Fubara says that he has still not received the impeachment notice. So what was the noise about if they have not passed or given him notice? 21,000 unregistered refugees in Nigeria. That's according to the HCR, the UN Refugee Agency. Okay, they're saying that the unregistered refugees in Nigeria are 21,000 unregistered, which means they are registered ones, and we don't know that number. It's not in that report. Okay, PDP APC fight over control of Osun local government secretariats. The All Progressives Congress in Osun State has rejected claims by the People's Democratic Party and a network of civil society organizations that its chairmen are illegally occupying local government council secretariats across the state. That story is there, so you want to read that. Still on the Punch newspaper, federal government votes 19 billion naira for VP's aircraft engine orders. Okay. Let's move to the Nation newspaper. The Nation newspaper leads with lawmakers Pandev initiate Fubara Assembly reconciliation. Okay, the move is to stave off the impeachment proceedings initiated against Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy Professor Ngozi Odu. This began yesterday, and a 7-man peace committee was set up by the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, that's PANDEF, to resolve the crisis between the governor and the House of Assembly, led by Speaker Martin Amaole. Also yesterday, 2 members of the Rivers State House of Assembly called on their colleagues to back down on the initiated impeachment. Okay, things fall apart. Lagos-Sokoto highway to unlock businesses in 6 states, says Umahi. Okay, the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, he said the Badagry, that is in Lagos, to Sokoto highway will open up businesses across 6 states. The minister said this yesterday in Lagos while inspecting Section 3 of the super highway. He named the states as Sokoto, Kebbi, Niger, Kwara, Oyo, and Lagos. Okay, so super highways all around. Calabar, Lagos Superhighway, Lagos Sokoto Highway, but the existing roads are dilapidated. Welcome to Nigeria. Nigeria UAE seal deal on trade, agric manufacturing. Okay, so we'll move to the next. Lawmakers Pandev initiate Fubara Assembly reconciliation. We've already had that. On the Vanguard newspaper, the leading story is still that of a crisis, reverse crisis. Why Fubara is yet to receive impeachment notice. That story is there. 2027 Atiku, PDP, CUPP decry alleged crackdown on dissent. And then Adeon Jude condemns opposition over criticisms of EFCC in Malami case. Read that story and find out what he's saying. Usman to Abure others. Labour Party is not for sale. And finally, from the Vanguard newspaper, education reforms. Federal government ASU to unveil new agreement tomorrow. Okay, that's interesting. From the 2009 agreement, now we're going to have a new one. I hope that that will be the solution to the problems in the education sector. From the Sun newspaper, the leading story is federal government to spend 11.5 billion naira on pilgrimage and 4.6 billion naira on nuclear energy and climate matters. Okay. Nigeria run by press statements while Tinubu governs from foreign hotels, Obi decries. U.S. strikes in Nigeria killed 155 Lakurawa terrorists. That's according to the report. Okay, that's the much we can take from the headlines. There are other headlines from our national dailies. You might want to grab one of the newspapers, if not all of them. So we just read and find out what is going on in our country. In the meantime, let's join Rufai Oseni to give us his own thoughts on the headlines this morning. Once again, welcome.
Couple of stories making the rounds today. So Peter Obi issued a statement today, and in this statement, what he was pretty much saying is that where is President Tinubu? And really, it does strike a solid point, because President Tinubu had left the country before the new year. This is about 15 days after. Yes, he surfaced in United Arab Emirates for a conference, but the way the president leaves the country is something a lot of people question. In fact, Peter Obi was talking about how many times the president left the country in the course of last year. And when you look at all of this, increasingly all you can do is to ask questions upon questions upon questions upon questions. What is really going on? When the president left, he didn't tell us he was in France. He said he was going to Europe. Then the next thing, he surfaced in France. And we had many conversations about this France all the time. And it speaks volumes. And you see, these are the explanation President Tinubu, can never effectively give us. At a time where there's a need for leadership, at a time where a lot of things happen while the president was not around, this actually leaves a little bit more to be desired. And these are conversations we need to ask and see. This also matters a great in the next election cycle. Nigerians will have to decide, do you want an AWOL president? I remember how we did that in the time of Buhari. Abroad almost every time. But, please, let us ask questions. And if we do not ask questions, we don't get anywhere as a country. We now hear that federal government has inaugurated a 40 billion CCTV center on Third Mainland Bridge. Okay, we'll see how all of this pan out in the coming days. It's not just about CCTV camera. It's also about a great deal of security across board on every part. And I'm happy that, okay, they started with Third Mainland Bridge, but other areas too need to be safe and secure. There's an increased level of criminality and crime in parts of this country we need to be able to look at. And for the Katsina state government that is negotiating with bandits, you see, we can't build a country this way. If these terrorists are being given a leg up by the government because they're trying to have some stupid peace deal, you can't allow that happen. And that's why we like to call on the Katsina state government to stop the negotiation with bandits. The same people that are killing people, that are hurting people. No. This is not right. And as regards Chimamanda's son's case, Olusegun has issued out a statement saying that investigation needs to be done as regards the healthcare sector in Nigeria, very lackadaisical attitude. He also reminded us about the case of Chef Pedro Goma, which was due to medical negligence, and a couple of other cases. And that's when we say Nigeria happened, some people will think that we are demarketing Nigeria. No, Nigeria happen means that to a large extent, things that need to be put in place are not being put in place. And these are the questions we need to be able to ask. So when we say Nigeria happen, it's not Nigeria happening that makes a state government negotiate with bandits and even try to go to court to release bandits and criminal elements. Is that not Nigeria happening? So we need to be able to ask these questions, because if we don't ask the questions, We don't get anywhere. And if we don't get anywhere, society keeps plummeting, society keeps getting into problems, society keeps getting down every time. So, still on this very important case making the rounds as regards the Mekonde case owned by Obi Jackson and the Nest Oil people. The Supreme Court sitting in Abuja today, in a panel presided over by Lord Justice Ian Gekoro, ordered the parties to go back to the Court of Appeal for the court to resolve the issue of legal representation, therefore report back to the Supreme Court in January. So, justices on the panel concurring with the justice were Justice Jauro, Justice Sankey, Justice Adumeyi, and Justice Sadiq Umar. The Supreme Court also strongly cautioned the counsel in the matter of debt recovery that the debtor should simply be encouraged to pay the debt rather than filing frivolous appeal and all of that. The appeal was filed by Nestor Mekonde and their promoters, NSOBJC, Obi Jackson and his wife, purported to represent Mekonde was Chief Olamek Peku for Nest Oil and Maurice Banire, whose competence and authority is being challenged by Ayo Olorunfemi, SCM, and Ami Ogi for Nekonde and Ayola. So, if you remember, the case has been on for a while. In fact, in the Nekonde headquarters, that's the Nest Oil headquarters, was shut down. It's as a result of a dispute between First Bank and this oil company, and they've been going on and on as regards it. Like we're giving you an update now that Chimamanda is serving Uracare Hospital with a legal notice over son's death, and that is going on. We're going to see how that process pans out. But the Lagos State government also instituted an investigative panel, into all of this. Olukoyede is saying that I inherited the probe of Malami, nothing personal against him. Ola Olukoyede, chairman of EFCC, said he has nothing personal against Malami. He said this on the channel's interview. But the question we should ask is, was it the investigation that spanned a while? Because, and why was it that it was close to the time around where Malami joined the ADC, the friendly with the opposition, that all of a sudden this investigation blew out? And some things that Olukoyede did say that is still shocking to me, that he reports to the Nigeria people. No, he reports to Mr. President. You are there at the pleasure of Mr. President. He said the book and the act that made him FCC chief makes him report to the Nigerian people, that there's no one person that can, that really oversees the activity for the Nigerian people. That's why they file all their papers to, the National Assembly at the end of the year and all of that. We know how Nigeria works. Once somebody is president, he oversees everything. That's why everybody wants to die over political position. Everybody wants to be governor. They will kill to be governor. They will kill to get any position because they use it for their own personal advantage. We've been advocating for this for a while. So LDRC has declared a 24.3 billion second liquidation dividends for depositors of defunct Heritage Bank, whose balances exceeded the limit of 5 million. So Central Bank of Nigeria revokes Heritage Bank operational license on June 3rd, raising questions about how the depositors will recover. That was in 2024, will recover their funds. So in September, NDI said 84% of the Heritage Bank depositors with BVN-linked accounts have been paid. They also said that the commencement of a payment of 46 billion from liquidation dividend to the depositors of the bank, has also commenced. In continuation thereof, the NDIC has now declared a second liquidation dividend of 24.3 billion. The amount derived from debt recovery, sale of assets, realization of investment will be applied to the payment of uninsured balances from depositor with funds exceeding 5 million insured limit. So, let's see how this pans out, because I've really seen a lot of people complain about this because they have their funds trapped, in Heritage Bank. And anyway, Farage has always said that Peter Obi is always the political game changer. In fact, he said it leading up to the 2023 election, and he's also saying it in an interview today, that over the weekend that he did on Arise TV. No free elections in climate of repression. That's what Atiku Abubakar is saying. And yes, there's been complaint about climate of repression, attacks on the opposition and the likes, and all the individuals have been going back and forth at it. for a while. So Atiku is saying that you can have fair and fair elections in a climate, of repression. And please, we'd like to call on all and sundry Nigerians. It's already getting close to the election. It's already getting close to the elections. And see, if, as we speak, if the Election Act is not signed into law, the 2027 elections might even be worse than the last elections, 2023 elections. And that's why all hands must be on deck. We should try as much as possible to keep on the fight, to keep on speaking up, to keep on fighting for justice and integrity in the country. That's just it. Because if we don't do it, then the elections are going to be worse off, and it's going to be very sad. And would like to call on the authorities in those states as regards what transpired in Epoma. Please, we must be able to have investigation into what transpired in Epoma, that people were protesting, and as a result of the protesting, they were treated in a very shabby way. We must be able to see how this pans out, and we must investigate what is going on out there in Epoma. It's something we should look at. It's something we should look at. So we're waiting. We are looking at it. Security must be restored. The kidnapping in Edo State is what Governor Pueblo must be able to look at and face. I mean, look at the video making it round of how actually somebody was taken in his own home in Epoma. It's a very sad one. It's a very sad one. We need to be able to get to the root of all of this matter. Please. Please. Right, a couple of stories making it around. So the first story is the fact that despite the fact that two lawmakers have pulled out of this impeachment plot against Fubara, Fubara is now saying that actually he has not gotten any impeachment notice, and that's very curious because I thought those impeachment managers were going to go ahead and they were going to facilitate things with lightning speed against Fubara and the likes. That's what we thought. So if we're not hearing now that a lot of the impeachment managers are saying that that Fubara is saying that he's not been able to get any impeachment notice, is quite curious. Anyway, I think to a large extent, powers that be have tried to prevail and quell it because, like I said before, the attempt to impeach Fubara in the first place was an affront on Tinubu and was sort of like challenging President Tinubu's power and all of this, because since Fubara moved to the APC, some will have thought that he will have got some coverage. So let's see how all of this pan out in the coming days. The federal government has allocated over 10 billion for the overhaul of engines on Gulfstream aircraft, that's G50, assigned to the Vice President, and an analysis of appropriation bill from 2024-2026 has revealed. So the aircraft registered 5NFGW received the highest single allocation among all the aircraft in the presidential fleet, accounting for 55% of total maintenance. Budget documents obtained and analyzed by the Punch show the allocation of the overhaul of the Vice President aircraft jumped from 1 billion in 2024 to 5.1 billion in 2025, a 345% increase before settling at 3.86 billion. That's just on jets and engines of the jets spent by the Vice President. I mean, this is something very curious about our budgeting system. We do not have the money, but the bulk of the money goes to servicing the president. In a country where people can barely feed, people are very poor. We are still managing jets. The president bought another jet that he didn't pass through National Assembly. A lot of problems here and there. We should need to really introspect in this country.
Thank you very much, Rufai Husseini, for your thoughts this morning. We'll be joined shortly by Prince Chilaka, that will be also giving his own thoughts. We hope that you will stay there and you will contribute as well. Pick out the story or stories that really, really concern you or really make you want to talk when we open the lines so that you can talk. But in the meantime, we are expecting you to send your messages to us on 08171756338. 08171756338. That is the number to send a message to WhatsApp. Okay, Prince Chilaka, good morning and welcome. Thanks for joining us this morning.
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Okay, so we are here now, and the headlines are very interesting, especially with the ones that come from River State. But let's begin with. Okay, we better just begin from River State because that's where we have 1 week, one trouble. Now, impeachment storm. Fubara says no notice as two lawmakers pull out. That is just one of them. The two lawmakers have pulled out, and then lawmakers Pandev initiate Fubara Assembly reconciliation. That's also another story from River State as it is. So let's begin with that. Rivers crisis, why Fubara is yet to receive impeachment notice. All these are coming from
Well, I
River
think
State.
the thing that is going to play out in Rivers, like I said, I've always said, and I'll maintain it, is what played out in Lagos when Obasa was ceremoniously impeached by the Lagos State House of Assembly. And at the end of the day, even though the impeachment had sailed through on record, because the new speaker was appointed and all of that, but Mr. President said, look, let him go back to his duty. And it's about the leadership of the party. And that's why I keep saying people need to understand what it means to be the leader of the party. In as far as APC is concerned, the highest person in that party that is known, other than the chairman, is Mr. President. And whatever he says is law. Nobody would object to it because he's the one, he's the pilot. So with what's happening in Rivers, I expect that more members of the State House of Assembly will have dissenting voices. It's going to become very clear very soon because I think a lot of them are getting tired of the madness and shenanigans being exhibited by the speaker. And if care is not taken, once they drop this impeachment on Fubara, he may likely end up being impeached.
But these same people who should impeach him, if that happens, are the same ones singing the same tune with him right now.
They are politicians. Nigerian politicians have no integrity. They have no staying power. It's all about the money they want to make. It's all about who will take care of their bills. So if the governor is ready and willing to play balls in taking care of their bills, they will jump ship.
Interesting, especially when it comes a few days after the thank you visit to River State by the minister.
To start with, that thank you visit is a waste of resources. It's a waste of time. It simply shows you that the FCT minister has become too paranoid with power. I mean, he's not the first person to be an FCT minister. So why would you waste time, energy, resources going to local governments when you and I know that the election was not conducted in a fair atmosphere, that these are people you solely appointed? It wasn't like there was an election. So what is all these shenanigans? I mean, a Wike should go and sit down and face FCT. One chance bus drivers and taxi drivers are killing people in FCT. Why is he doing? How can you abandon your duty post and you go to your state? Do you know the importance? It simply means that anybody who is a minister can actually go to any state they come from and begin to cause mayhem. What would that? Let's assuming that Fubara is as stubborn as he is in terms of thuggery and all of that, and then he unleashes his own thugs. It would have been a bloodshed in Rivers State. So we need to, when we're doing certain things, we need to be very, very careful. I do not understand the kind of power Wike has, that he's going from one local government to another. Is he the president? Is he the governor of the state? There are certain things when people do it, those who are with you, who eat with you, who dine with you, should be able to advise you that, sir, this thing you're doing is totally wrong. It's unacceptable. You're usurping the power of the governor. So assuming that the governor wakes up and says, okay, any local government chairman that comes to this place will be sacked, you know that Rivers will be thrown into turmoil. So I think it's high time people call Wike to order. Whatever it is he's looking for, he's not going to get it.
So do you think the Pandev meeting is the best way to go, or they're just giving him a soft landing?
Well, I think Pandev, you see, for me, I believe we must always pursue peace. But when you're pursuing the peace, it must come with justice. If you're going to peace without justice, it's peace of the graveyard. So if Pandev wants to broker a peace, they also need to state the terms. You don't broker a peace where you're telling the governor to do this, to do that, like we've had in the past. No, that is not peace. And that is why all the peace agreements or arrangements or meetings that have held in Rivers have not been able to give you any positive result, because it is peace devoid of justice.
I'm curious because this peace deal that they are trying to agree on is between the lawmakers, Pandev, and the governor. But the root cause of the matter is the FCT minister, and he's not involved.
I think
in
that is where they've been missing it. Even Mr. President missed it at some point. The Rivers people have always missed it. People have missed it. It's not. Amehule is just a robot. That's the truth. The problem in Rivers State is a Wike, and he has never hidden it from anybody. He says agreement is what? Agreement. For you to come out on stage and say that if Fubara gets a second term, you are politically dead, you're completely gone, then it means that there is more to it. And then I keep asking, the marriage they had when he was governor and Wike was his accountant general, what happened? What happened to that marriage? Is it that some of the things that EFCC was looking for when they were trying to arrest Fubara, is it that Fubara has refused to release those things to him? Because it goes beyond what we see.
Yeah.
There seems to be more than meets the eye. So we need to know. But Nigeria is a country where nobody gives you answers. Nobody explains themselves. Everybody just do what they want to do, especially the political class. They feel that they are not accountable to the Nigerian people. And so what you see, the problem is what you have in the political class, you have it running across all sectors of the Nigerian economy, even into private businesses. Information that should be made public, nobody wants to make it public. Everybody's hiding things, everybody's feeling too comfortable and all of that.
Interesting. Even more interesting is what Tambuwal has said, that election in Nigeria is not completely decided by the electorate. It just gives you an idea of how they feel.
One thing you won't give the Nigerian politicians is that when they're in opposition, the truth always comes out. You remember when Okocha in Rivers State, the chairman of
Tony Okocha.
Yes. You remember when he was being dragged like I passed my neighbor generator? He came out and told Nigerians how the election was rigged. Was he arrested? Was he persecuted? We don't do that. So anything that happens during the election, we just close our eyes to it. We know that rigging takes place. We know that there are people who are assigned to rig an election. But do they get punished? Until you have a country where you have an institution that punishes people for crimes committed, we will still be the same place where we are.
An institution, you say?
Yes. The institutions in Nigeria are not working.
Yeah, because that's what I wanted.
No, that's what I said. Until we have
the institutions
we have today are not working. You know, I was reading yesterday something about how the Senate has become so, docile. Why the Senate is docile? By Senator Ome. Where he said that the problem with the 10th Assembly is because their leaderships were not elected by them.
They were imposed.
That they said that the executive had hands. It was the executive that said, this is who we want. And so because of that, they just decided that, well, since it has gone this way, let us support. So I don't know why.
Is that supposed to exonerate him? Because
well,
they could have said no.
You see, the thing is, if you followed what happened between the Senate president and Natasha, you'll find out that the Senate is operating like a cult.
Yeah.
You either fall in, or you get pushed out, or you get suspended, or something. So, and I think that is where the fear is. We still have men and women who cannot stand up. You watched in other climes where if the Senate is not doing what they want to do, you see senators walking out. You see people saying, no, I refuse to assent to this. I refuse to support this, this bill and all of that. But which Nigerian senator can do that? Because they're thinking of their children's school fees that government have to pay. They're thinking of their medical bill abroad that government have to pay. They're thinking about their, entertainment, newspaper that they will buy that government have to pay. So when they calculate all the things they're benefiting, all the largesse that comes with the office, they just say, well, let's just play ball.
And they realize that who know they know they.
They know they.
Okay. And then the curious thing, INEC has been given about more than ₦1 trillion to prosecute the next election. And then we know that already the last election, 55 billion is not accounted for. And then the person who was superintendent.
55 billion, the total amount given there was 300 and something billion. Have they accounted for any kobo? Meanwhile, the man who held sway and had glitches all over the place has been the ambassador designate. So he has been paid for doing a hatchet job. But you see the speed with which the government launched an audit into CBN. Why didn't they do it for INEC? Why didn't they do it for NNPCL? Why?
We're still looking for 210 trillion.
That one is gone. Any money that has been announced, that has been taken out, has gone. Where is your national carrier? Where is your national carrier? Where is the minister, the former minister, that scammed 200 and something million Nigerians? Today you have a Dave Umahi running from pillar to post, telling you about highways. Meanwhile, the ordinary roads used by the Nigerian people are not motorable. And you call yourself a man who has common sense, who has understanding, who knows how to take care of the people. I don't understand. You don't have a roof over your house, or you're putting all kinds of furniture inside the house.
That's funny. Even I come from where the superhighway from Lagos is leading, but I will never use the road. Never. Because I don't see any reason why I will use the road to go from Lagos to Calabar. Lagos to Calabar, from Calabar to where I come from, is about 20,000 naira. If I want to travel from Calabar to where I come from. So why will I pass?
That's Northern Calabar.
Northern Cross River.
Northern Cross River.
Yeah, so it will take me like 20,000 to get to my village. So why would I pass to Calabar? Because the road is fine. You know, it. Well, I don't know. He was talking about the fact that this road, this Lagos Sokoto road, will benefit like 6 states, and he mentioned those states and all that. And I was wondering how it was going to benefit that state and benefit Nigeria as a whole and all that. But
if it benefits the states, that's assuming that in wherever it passes, they have a path that enters into that state.
because
Are they thinking about the internal roads in the
some of that roads,
states?
yes, will have to feed that road.
And so what happens to them? You saw what people went through passing through Bini bypass.
Yeah.
You saw what people had, the problem people had in Lokoja. What stops this government from looking at these roads, fixing them first, before you begin to look at gigantic projects?
Well, 2
In
years.
other words, the government wants to tell us that the whole money gotten from subsidy, the savings from subsidy, is that's where it's been applied. That's the next thing you will hear.
And palliatives.
We've seen, since we have not had palliative in recent times. It looks as if government is fed up.
Rice.
Because
Rice is not in stock.
We're asking for accountability. You tell me you're doing cash transfer to who? Based on what? So it looks as if that scam has been exposed and everybody's just, they're going to look for a new scam to bring up very soon.
Okay, this one sounds like a gain, because I'm sure that's why it was put out. 2-year refining milestone. Fuel import spending crashes 54% to $6.7 billion.
Whoever put out that thing should be ashamed. The whole essence why you have, when NNPC said that two refineries were working, was it not part of the subsidies gone? So who is the importer now? Is it the NNPC? Is it the federal government? Or is it individuals? Because I'm still trying to understand how those who import are competing with Dangote. Because if they import and they're able to compete favorably with Dangote, then it means that NNPC has been lying to Nigerians from the onset. It means that the increase of fuel price by the government is a scam. Because you cannot, if you're going to import something and you're going to compete favorably with local production, if local production is selling for 5 naira and you're importing and you're selling for the same 5 naira or even less, then it means that there was no need in the import in the first place. But if we now have where Dangote dictates the price and you are still importing and you say subsidy is not being paid, then somebody is not telling the Nigerian people the truth.
Okay, so we've already covered Fubara and 21,000 unregistered refugees in Nigeria, according to UNHCR.
UN is the United Nations. The same people who tell us how many we are in Nigeria. What is happening with the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics? Why are they not the ones giving us this information? And who registered them? And where are they? Are they part of those in the Nigerian IDP camps?
They say they are unregistered.
So where about the ones that are even registered, where are they? How did they arrive at this figure? Because we need to know. It's not just to throw a figure in the faces of Nigerians, but you need to give us, like people would say, empirical facts. We need to know, where are these refugees? Have they become citizens? Are they part of the Boko Haram or the terrorists? Or are they part of the government? Where are they? And how come Nigerian government could not track them? It's the UN that is not tracking them. They put a bug on them.
Okay, in Osun State, PDP, APC fight over control of Osun local government secretariat. The report is that the APC has rejected claims by the People's Democratic Party and a network of civil society organizations that its chairmen are illegally occupying local government council secretariats across the state. The network of civil society groups, speaking through a convener, Stephen Olarinwaju called on chairmen currently running council areas to vacate office immediately, alleging that their tenure ended on October 26, 2025.
Well, you see, this thing that is happening in
Is it that there's no law that tells us if there is a problem like that? For instance, if their tenure actually ended in October 2025, what needs to be done in the interim?
It's not that there is no law, it's the implementation of the law and the way the law is being interpreted. That's the problem. The same thing you have in Osun State is what is playing out in Labour Party. Everybody is claiming to be chairman of Labour Party based on the judgment of the Supreme Court. So everybody wakes up and they interpret judgments to suit them. It shouldn't be. And that's why I keep saying sometimes that the judiciary is a problem. You don't give a judgment that, creates so much loopholes, creates so much problem that cannot be managed. Ordinarily, with what Wike said about Osun State, nobody in APC should talk. Because with what he said, he has indicted the judiciary. So the problem is, Nigeria has become a country where the party in power tries to dictate to everybody. The party in power, the members feel that they should not obey laws and rules as stipulated by the country. Osun State is not every other state. You have APC. It is rare to have somebody from another party as local government chairman. It is rare. If Osun State was under APC, I'm sure nobody from PDP will make noise. But at the end of the day, you find out that before you know it, the police will now be the one protecting the people from APC.
That's what is happening now, because the police has been accused of that same thing you just said now.
So why is the police taking sides? The police should be neutral. The police should be accountable to the Nigerian people, because it is the taxpayers' money that puts uniform on them, that equips them. It's not the presidency that equips them. It's taxpayers. The same applies to the Nigerian army. And that's why when you see Nigerian army people shooting civilians, I said, these people don't understand that it is these civilians that are paying their salaries. You call them bloody civilians, but their bloody civilians are the ones kitting you, they're the ones paying your salary, they're the ones paying your children's school fees, they're the ones putting a roof over your head.
But are we not the same ones that are paying the politicians? Yet they do what they want.
Because sovereignty has been taken away.
Well, federal government votes 19 billion naira for VP's aircraft engine and others. You want to bury your face? It's not you that budgeted it.
I just
tell me what you think.
The way we spend money in this country, gone are the days when you say, federal government has budgeted like 200 million, 200,000. Now it's billions. And they say it with such, I don't care attitude. What is the budget for education? What is the budget for health? These are critical areas that should have more money. Or you would rather budget to renovate the house of the president and the VP. You budget money to work on the engine of the aircrafts. I thought when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came, he said they were going to sell off some. Up to today, nobody has said anything about whether they have sold any or not.
And unfortunately, these items are not some of the items that they carry over to the next year as.
Have you ever looked at that? Have you ever looked at the Nigerian budget? Now copy and paste, nothing else. It's only Nigerian budget that you're buying spoon every year. You're buying plates, buying teacups.
Interesting. Okay, so the other items, let's move away from that. We're going now to the Nation newspaper. Okay, we already have River State, Lagos Sokoto highway to unlock businesses in 6 states. I just mentioned that. Maybe you want to comment on that. That's what Umahi is saying. The same Umahi that said that this government is doing so well that in the southeast, it's 100% that this president.
Well, when he says that, I ask myself, where are the roads in southeast? Where are the federal infrastructures in southeast? Maybe these things are hidden that we can't see it with our ordinary eyes. Because we need to see them. We need to verify them. Where are they?
They are in Abia State.
It's the same idea that the likes of Ojus Okalu is telling you that the governor is painting
the roads.
And I'm happy he's painting it. If you see the roads before and now, you will know that there's a difference. You were a governor for 8 years. What was your legacy? You are the same person who came out to tell Nigerians that the governor is your friend, your brother. He's doing so well. And all of a sudden, he's now painting the roads. Suddenly you are the one who drew the road map that he's using to develop the state. Meanwhile, those who came after you couldn't use the same road map. And you're making noise. You're telling people how you would take the governor out. What is coming for him, he will not understand. Because Abia people have become wiser and more clever now.
Yeah, but what if what they're saying now, how elections are not won by what the electorates choose and so many other things, what if this plays out?
Well, chaos. Be rest assured.
Okay. So you're confident the Abia people will protect their vote?
They will protect their vote.
Interesting.
Nobody tests sugar and spits it out. Even person will get diabetes.
Okay. Now, Nigeria UAE seal deal on trade agri manufacturing. One outcome of this is that at least we know where the president is. So,
I remember last year, too many deals were sealed. We were told that too many companies were coming to Nigeria to invest and all of. How many of them have we seen? Nigerian government has a lot of deals on paper, but in practical terms, we don't have these deals. So for us, yes, everybody will be happy if there are foreign companies coming into Nigeria. I keep asking myself, the little local companies are closing down. They're closing down. So tell me, who would come and invest in a country that has this kind of insecurity that we have in Nigeria? Except that person carrying AK-47 to the waka. But any normal person, even you as an indigenous of this, look at the southeast with all this nonsense about sit at home. Are businesses thriving in the southeast? You think people who are running away from investing in the southeast, they don't have common sense? Nobody wants to invest money where you will not get returns.
Okay. Education reforms. Federal government ASU to unveil new agreement tomorrow. A new one from the one that we had since 2009.
Let me say this to ASU. Unfortunately, ASU, they are responsible for the decay in the Nigerian society.
Okay.
And so when ASU comes out to cry, I wonder why they are crying. All those who have manned our electoral process are said to be professors from universities. So when you as a professor sit to organize an election where somebody with an attempted school cert, somebody with a NEPA bill, somebody with a questionable credentials comes to contest, and you allow the person to contest and you declare the person a winner, what do you expect from that person?
It's like giving first class to a student that settles.
So how do you expect? It's like I keep saying, some of these professors, if they see These people, they are allowed to contest. These people, they declare winners in election in a theater, and they are there for surgery. Will they stay? So ASU has been part of those who have been killing this economy, who has been killing this country. Until the day they will wake up and say, no, this nonsense, this madness, this electoral fraud that we have been foisting on Nigerian people must end. Then they can begin to talk of agreement or no agreement. Because whatever agreement they enter into, the government has a way of undermining it.
Okay.
You had Professor Jega, you had Professor Yakubu. They are all professors.
Returning officers for states are professors. Yeah.
So what are we talking about? They never start to. Then go cry very soon. Then go learn the hard way.
I hear you. Okay. Federal government to spend 11.5 billion naira on, wait for it, pilgrimage, and 4.6 billion on nuclear energy and climate matters.
To save or to spend?
Spend on pilgrimage.
First and foremost, I've always been of the opinion that government has no hand. And government should.
Did you hear it? 11.5 on pilgrimage, 4.6 on nuclear energy and climate change.
I know where you're coming from.
Okay.
But let me take them one after the other.
Okay.
Government has no hand, should have no hand in who goes on pilgrimage. If you wake up tomorrow and you say you want to go and tour Europe, it's none of government's business. It is none of government's business. Government should focus on creating an enabling environment for people to earn a living and be able to go and do their pilgrimage. But no, it is part of the things they use in holding the people down. Oh, we're sponsoring you to go on pilgrimage. But the thing that would matter to the Nigerian people, how much is budgeted? How much is budgeted? So you see, government does what they do deliberately. They look for, tomorrow now you hear they're sharing how many billions as palliative. But applying that billion to setting up cottage industries, the government will not. Do you know how many people would have been taken off the streets? How many people would have been gainfully employed if all the money they've been using as palliative was used to drive small scale businesses?
Now money, loans to manufacturers has gone down. The money that is supposed to go to them, it has gone down. But let's take this one quickly before we get to where we open the mic for people to call us or take messages from people. Katsina State is still justifying their plan to release suspected bandits. They keep talking about why it is necessary, why it is good for them to release these bandits. 70 bandits are set to be released by the Katsina State government, and they're giving excuses that it's a peace deal between them and the bandits and all that. So let me hear your thoughts.
On one hand, the government says they're fighting terrorism. In another hand, some state governors are promoting terrorism. And they're doing it with so much impunity. These so-called bandits were arrested by some people. And you're not thinking about the consequences.
And maybe some people died in the course of arresting them.
But you're not thinking about the consequences of releasing them back into the society. And they already know those who arrested them. They probably know where they stay. So the security of life and property of the Nigerian people is zero. What you are thinking about is releasing criminals. So why do you have prisons? Why do you have correctional centers? Why arrest them in the first place? This is why a lot of people are saying that government itself is not ready and willing to subdue this. Because this is even something that should not be heard from any quarters. It should not be heard.
Okay, Prince, let's open the mic for people to call us. We would like you to stay put. Maybe you will have a response to one or two of these comments, but we just like your presence here until that time when we take a break.
No problem.
Okay, so now we are open for... Not for business. We are open.
We've been open for business all day.
Yes. We want you to be able to call us now or send us messages. We have so many messages already, but let's just remind you the numbers that you need to call: 0700 903 903 903, 0700 903 903 903, or 080 3692 9933, 080 3692 9933. On WhatsApp, you can get us on 081 71 75 6338. 081 71 75 6338. So call us right now. Let's hear you talk. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Hello, sir. How you doing, sir? And our analyst, I greet you powerfully, sir.
Morning, sir.
My name is Maruf Mokudi from Aguilasule.
Okay.
I want to talk about the pilgrimage.
Yes.
You see, government are just wasting Nigerian resources. I could remember when I was in Lagos Island, one of my friends, he's a Togo, political thoughts. So, initially, he's not a Muslim. You understand? He was a Christian. He now told me when I was coming through that this junction, Surah junction, I'm going to Freeman. He now stopped me and said, hey, that used to come up. I said, hey, sorry, I'm supposed to buy this thing for you, Jalamiya, but see, I just went to that Mecca. I was sleeping in the hotel. I did not do anything because I'm not a Muslim. They just gave me because they wanted to give me in Jerusalem, but fortunately it is finished. That was why they gave me that one. Yes, they are just wasting our money. They see those people in the church, good pastors. They will not send them. Good affair, they will not send them. Cleric, they will be sending tons, woman, all those stuff, using our money. So, well, God feed them. Number two, this Fubara and Wike. Wike has been used and dumped. I think Wike don't know at the moment. It has been used and dumped. So, if care is not taken, he just need to keep quiet and do whatever he want to do. When he continue doing blah, 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 they will just start him one day and ask him to go from the cabinet. That is a FCT minister. So he will now become political jobbers. So if you listen to last one of his last campaign at one of the local governments in the River State, he said he doesn't want to look open his eye that Fubara will now retire him politically. So he knows what he's saying. So there's no way. And he cannot fight Ajibola Bashir, the former senator from Osun State. He's the national secretary of the APC. That man is a political this thing. So he knows what he's doing. So we are looking. So we are looking. So
okay.
Well done, sir.
Thank you very
much. More blessing.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Maruf. Okay, we're still expecting you to call us now and tell us what you think. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. What's your name?
My name is Titus from Yaba.
Okay, go on, Titus.
You see, this super highway, one thing I want trying to make Nigeria know. This super highway from Paladin to Sokoto is an answer for the bandit to come down to the south. If you don't know, when they happen now, that is an easy answer for them to run around the south. This highway, look at our federal highway, one of the federal highway from east to west, from west to north. That no road is good. No road is not clear. And there is super highway. You know, who is pronouncing that to super highway? I say. Who is the chairman of I-10? So when we will do this, the entry, one day this country will come to Turkey. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, hello, good morning.
Yagu Agazie, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
My name is Daniel. I'm calling you from Alaba.
Go ahead.
Let me talk about David Umai building our coastal roads to Sokoto, coastal road to Calabar. I want to ask him, what about the former rules that people are sleeping on the road on December? Not that even building train to us to Calabar or train to Sokoto, as he say. But what they are trying to do is to siphon our money, to steal our money. That's why they are building the new road, abandoning the old one. But I want to let you to know that it's only Abacha that is a dead man that is in the grave, starting sending money to Nigeria every year. Every year we are Abacha is paying us money, paying us salary, paying Nigeria salary. Repatriating their money. I start to wonder, those that is still alive, how much money are they going to refund to us? Or is it when they die they're going to refund it? Let them know that either they refund it to life or they will refund it to death. If Abacha can die and start refunding his own money that is still for Nigeria, all of them will still refund their own back.
Thank you very much. Okay, that was a funny one. Okay, hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Please put off your radio.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
The area that Yanko did not touch is this report from Edo State where protesters were arrested and they appeared in court the next day. Prince Chilaka, please, I want you to help us address that matter. Is that how countries are run? A kidnapping case was took place somewhere, and the resident came out and said, this area is no longer safe. Our people cannot longer go to the farm. We don't want issues to continue like this. You now send the police to go and arrest them, and they are taken to court. And the court is reminding them, I hear they are wailing and crying. What I saw is a shame of the nation. Please, Chilaka, help us to say something about this issue. A country cannot continue to be run in this way.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. In the meantime, the schools have been shut. They say they should not reopen because of the same things that the people were protesting and the government was against.
The government, I think the problem is Edo State governor, which is, it's not just Edo State governor. It's something that has come to stay in Nigeria. It started when we had protests against hunger and bad governance, and kids were arrested and charged for treason. That was a clear message to everyone that if you protest, you do anyhow, you see anyhow. The government has done everything possible to ensure that people do not protest, and they keep doing it. So if you take away the right of people to protest, we are nothing short from a dictatorial system. So whether we like it or not, there are tendencies of dictatorship in Nigerian governance today, cutting across the federal to state to local government. You remember what happened sometime last year when they said 14 hunters were killed. You saw what happened. And then, people are telling you that, look, this kidnapping has not abated. What we expect the governor of the state to do is to find solution. But rather, the governor of the state is busy fighting the other senior citizens of the state, because he has said to you, if you're not wearing a Bola Ahmed Tinubu's cap, you cannot enter government house. You cannot enter any secretariat. You cannot get anything you want. So when you have leaders who are blinded by what I call unnecessary loyalty, psychophancy, then you have a problem. So the problem you have in Edo State is nothing other than psychophancy. The governor has told you from 2.5 to 3.5 million votes. So he believes that by holding the people down, he believes that by using the instrumentality of the Nigerian police and the Nigerian army, he will get what he wants.
How many people are in Edo State, by the way?
Well, you know, we don't know our population. That's another big issue. That's why I said that it's only United Nations that will tell you Nigerians are 250 million and we'll run with it.
It's serious. No data at all, and that worries me. Even at when we're talking about tax, they will give you a lot of calculations, which kind of money will be taxed and all that. Will these people have that patience to do this, to make sure they tax only the taxable income and all? Well,
but you see, if you notice, you see the kind of charges the banks are giving now. Several charges.
Sometimes without even any transaction.
You just get an alert. What do you do? Who do you go to?
Same question I asked this morning. How do we report? Where, if these things you suspect that they are not done properly, where do you go to? Where's the channel to go to and report? Okay, good morning, VOP family. APC should act fast to stop Wike from destroying the party the way he destroyed PDP. FCT citizens should sue Wike, the minister of FCT, for abandoning his duty as minister, travel to Rivers State for campaigning against Fubara second term in office. This is Benjamin from Shogule. I hear Umahi, Uzodimma, and so many other people.
They went to Solidarity.
Yes.
Yes, including National Security Advisor. A man that should be busy on his desk thinking of solution to the rampaging of terrorists all over the north and coming down the south. You are busy going to fraternize and to tell the governor we're in support of you, we're behind you. Our politicians are just something else.
Anyway, all of them seem to be,
they're all in the same boat.
Elder General, that is Mazi Ugochukwu, is saying from, I think Wike and Governor Fubara issues should be given less attention now because they have disturbed our media space for long. I want to wish our Super Eagles victory in tomorrow's match, and they should be ready for bad officiating from the referee. Please release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This is not the first time someone has said so, but do you think a case like Rivers or any other state should be treated as an isolated case?
Well, the reason why people are saying that is because the media is helping to heat up the policy. I must say it the way it is. If some of this news, the media close their eyes to it, nobody will know what, nobody wants to know. Nobody cares to know. But because the media is available, that is why you watch out. Today is what? Today is 13th, isn't it? Between the end of the month, Wike will call his usual press conference and then tell you the successes he has made, how he has mobilized 1 billion people that will come and vote for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu come 2027. Meanwhile, don't forget, in all these campaigns and all these journeys, his son is by his side.
Yeah.
And I hear the guy wants the guy to go to House of Rep, Federal House of Rep, not even councillor, not even local government chairman, not even State House of Assembly. Nigerian youths, I keep saying it.
Is that boy up to 23?
Nigerian youths, sorry, because you guys are the problem. This 5,000, 10,000 carry portfolio that they allow you to do has blocked your brains. You will serve the father and then you will serve the son. That's a new level of slavery.
Yeah, meanwhile, the youth say is we the elders that cause whatever is happening.
If we the elders caused it, why can't people stop it? On the day of election, now you will see them playing football. On the day of election, they are the same ones who will collect money and vote. Who shouldn't be there? They don't care. The problem is that the Nigerian youths don't care. And they must get more involved. And take, concise decision as to who rules this country.
Well, sometimes in defense of the media, sometimes when these things come out, the outcomes are not the ones that the people who are initiating it expect. For instance, a funny thing happened in Akwa Ibom State, which has been refuted anyway. There was news that the deputy governor initiated a bill.
Has it been refuted?
Yes, we've seen a press statement saying that the bill did not originate from the office of the deputy governor.
So where did it?
They have given a name of someone who first put it out there. So we are waiting to see whether that person will be prosecuted.
The question I'm asking is: has the State Assembly come out to issue a statement?
The statement that I saw came out from the deputy governor's office.
Good. He's exonerating himself. But the question is, has the State Assembly issued their own statement?
Maybe, but I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen that too.
So
Not be where I start from with the problem. Now where I end. But that is if that truly is in the State Assembly, every one of them should be sacked.
now that I know there is a name that has been given, let's see whether they will prosecute the person. Because if you don't do that, a lot of people will assume, whether it's true or false, will assume that it really originated from.
When you say
from there.
prosecute the person for leaking the information, or prosecute the person for being the one that sponsored the bill.
For telling a lie. Let them use that and say he told a lie. Don't you think it will be interesting? Because if that person put that thing out there, he must have his evidences. So if they cannot prosecute him, maybe there's something they're hiding. By the way, if you didn't hear the information, the bill was for for young girls not to sleep with married men anymore. Because if you do that and you're caught, then you will go to prison for 10 years and the man
will pay 2
million naira.
So how about the men, the young boys sleeping with married women?
Okay, that one is not covered. So so that was really funny. That was the funniest thing I saw the whole of this week. So
maybe your state, maybe
it's not my state.
maybe the thing is killing
It's not my state.
the revenue of the state.
It's not my state at all. But even then, it's a laughable thing okay, the governor of that state came out to say the same thing you were talking about, Okwebolo in Edo State. If you are not APC, you cannot win any contract.
No.
Do anything.
The one the governor of Akwa Ibom have said, that is the height of it.
It was terrible.
It's the height of it.
Even contractors have to be APC members. It's something else. And then he went about catching masquerades. Why do our people do this? Masquerades.
Cluelessness is a very terrible thing.
Oh dear God. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Robert. Prince Chilaka, good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
Please, I want to beg you. Can you tell Esther for us to be allowing us to call on WhatsApp during our program in the night? I know you run a program on every Sunday, that maritime man. I will call you on WhatsApp.
Yes.
Even when I'm calling him on WhatsApp in the afternoon, but Esther will not allow. Like your normal phone call. I can't call you on normal phone call. You understand? Some of us have something to contribute. So let me just speak my point. APC said they will deal with Wike, something like that. So I think somebody says so. For me, I don't want APC. Why will APC deal with Wike? What is the reason? What are the reasons? When Wike was destroying PDP, they were hailing him. You understand? These APC were hailing Wike, were clapping for him until he destroyed that party. Now he's replicating what he did. He is almost replicating it in APC. And they said, no, let him. See, one thing is that if you harbor a bad person, you don't know that same bad person will also make you, destroy your home. You understand? So I don't want them to chasten him. He should continue. You understand? Let's see if Wike is the biggest politician in River State. One person causing problem here and there. He ruled for 8 years. Nobody disturb him. He will not halaf over. Look, the reason why when you say Wike brought Fubara, it's not that he did him a favor. It's because of the improprieties he committed. That was why they always bring somebody to say this person will take over for me. Not because of love that I like you so much. No. They want that person to cover their loopholes while in government. You understand? Look at what Fubara is saying now. He did some project that he did not pay. If this quarrel did not come out, do you think that evidence will be ready? Time will tell. You understand? Nobody is a God forever. Thank you very much, Jambo. God bless you.
Thank you. God bless you too. Okay. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
And then there's something happening from it.
Go on.
Anybody that has worked under an egg and the judiciary, whatever happened to this country, and we hold them responsible for it. Because they are deciding of this country. They are the one plunging this country into a hole. That is value. What I want to only that if there is any agreement between us and the Fulani people, let them let us know. Because I don't see the reason why the Fulani terrorists will rape women at will, kidnap at will, do whatever they want to do, kill at will. If you caught them, then we give them amnesty. If they kill you, then go scot-free. If you kill them, then we sentence you to life imprisonment or to death. There are a lot of social media, maybe Facebook, TikTok, where they are saying they are the owner of the country. If really they are the owner of the country, let them show us where we belong to. If there is any agreement between them and our leaders, let us know, because what is happening in this country, if you look at it, you see that truthfully they are the owner of the country. Because the law doesn't catch them. Gumi is there saying whatever, everything he's saying, and he's not, he hasn't been questioned or even arrested. So I'm just saying it that they are saying the truth. They are the owner of the country because they are behaving like the owner of the country. So for my brother Umahi, Sokoto Road and the other roads, what of if we have railroad from here to Abakaliki to Akaba? Which project will give Nigeria money like that? If there is railroad from Lagos to Abakaliki to Aba, which project will give Nigeria money like that project? But I count all these things as a wickedness to the Southeastern people. We know the good things to do, but then we not do it because of their selfish interest. So let us do something right. So let judiciary and INEC know that they are the one killing this country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I don't know if it is really a punishment to just the Southeast. It's
no. I think here is a very pertinent point. We need to. Our leaders need to tell us. When people say negotiate, when Gumi says negotiate, Gumi will tell you they are part of us. Learn to live with them. And I ask, how do you learn with somebody whose intention is to take you out?
There's a statement attributed to Gumi, credited to Gumi, it's unverified, which says that the money spent to bomb the terrorists in Sokoto could have been used to build schools for them instead. I don't know, it's unverified. Maybe someone mischievously did that, I don't know, but it just sounds like him anyway.
You see, these are the issues. You're in the forefront and asking that people should negotiate. And we're asking, what are we going to negotiate? What is the terms of negotiation? A lot of Nigerians are living in IDP camps. Who are those who have taken over their ancestral homes? Who are the people who chase them away from their ancestral homes? Why is government not looking at that direction? It's more like, they just conquer an area, everybody disappears, they stay. It's painful, it is sad, but it's the reality. It's the problem we have in our hands. Information is not being made available to the people.
Oh, well. Okay, this is eventually where we will wrap it up on this first half of the program, and we're hoping to return at 10:30 as usual to take all your messages and all your calls and all that. And it's always very good knowing that you are there with us and for us. And Prince Chilaka, I would like to thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We'll be back at 10:30 with this program. Don't go away.
Well done, my original people. How una dey? My prayer be say we go make am. So far we no be lazy. Na Kudos Homes Limited say make I come tell una about Christmas and New Year promo. How you go buy better land, take am build better house where your power go reach. For them land wey dey for open place, no be poto land, no be water side, no be acquisition land. Come back